Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Kevin Gavenda, of course, the head football coach at Saginaw Swan Valley High School. How's it going?
Great. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so kind of talk about, we had the first practice yesterday. I'm not sure if you had, of course, you'll have your second practice today, the final one before you get the shells tomorrow. So how excited are you after day one? What did you feel like you kind of took away from that first practice, if you could take anything away?
Excited that it's a really good group of kids. They listen well, they're extremely coachable. So that's something you're looking for as a coach. But just that aspect, they all seem to get along really well together. I mean, you see that in the summer workouts and whatnot, but just having them there day one, they really took to all the coaching and everything. So that's the most exciting thing for me as a coach. We're a young team, good speed this year, but young.
Okay, so let's talk. So kind of recap how the summer went for you guys.
Um, you know, we try to give them Friday off, but we were at it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday all week, and our turnout was probably about 70%. You miss some baseball kids in there quite a bit. You miss some kids with work commitments, but summer workouts went great as far as attendance goes. And in the work that we were able to get done, the kids who were there really picked up a lot of the things. They made strides athletically by getting bigger, faster, and stronger, but they also, with some of the reps we were able to get through camps and stuff, it goes a long way with a younger team.
Okay.
So
So let's talk about your team. Most importantly, let's talk about some of the returning players and some of the guys to watch out for. Let's kind of split it up a little bit. Let's start with the skill positions, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and all that.
Okay. Quarterback, we have a junior who is going to be a 3-year starter for us. Kind of thrust into the starting position as a freshman when our junior transferred out. Um, we took our bumps and bruises his freshman year, but that only made him that much better coming into this year. At running back, we're going to be inexperienced, kind of small, but we're probably going to do it by committee. Colton Klein's our quarterback, by the way. He can really throw it really well. I think he was a well over 1,000 yards passing last year. One of the things we want to see him do is probably use his feet a little bit more and develop in that aspect. But that comes with age. When you're asking a freshman and a sophomore to run the ball from the quarterback position, isn't something you want to be doing. But now that he's a junior, a little more physically mature, looking forward to that aspect of his game to really develop. Running back, like I said, we have 2 sophomores we're going to lean on in Boston Boer and Jack Lagan, and then we're going to switch one of our basically our backup quarterback last year and backup receiver, kind of a kid who did everything for us, played 5 spots on defense, and John Mayette, and give him some reps at tailback as well. And then we also have another senior who is going to be our fullback, but he'll take some reps at running back as well in Joey Miller. So we're really excited about those guys. Like I said, not a lot of experience from the running back position as far as playing running back, but a lot of talent and skill. Our receivers, kind of the same thing. We had 2 sophomores starting for us last year in Kel DeLille and Logan Zahn. And like I said, very talented kids, run really well, good track kids, catch the ball really well. So we're excited about them. Isaac Boer is going to be a senior leader for us this year. Didn't get a whole lot of reps as a junior, but he's really developed, both physically and maturity wise, has come a long way for us, and he's kind of stepped up as a leader. He's one of those guys that we're going to count on to catch a lot of balls in traffic and stuff like that. And then probably one of our kids that we're really excited about is Jamison Pelt, also a sophomore, but this kid's the sky's the limit for his potential and his talent. We just, like I said, with all the the juniors and sophomores I named, it's just going to take some time to catch them up and get them varsity football ready.
Yeah. Okay, so now let's move to the offensive line and defensive line.
Offensive line, we do have two kids returning who started for us last year, Chase Fanning and Jack Ledouce, who are both seniors. Really counting on those guys to anchor for us. Big kids. We don't grow them super tall at Swan Valley, so they're in that 6'1" range. 250 to 270, 280 range. But we're going to count on them. We try to platoon on the offense and defensive line. So if a kid's a predominant starter on the offensive line, we'll get him some reps on the D line, but we don't want to wear him out. We're going to probably go with Walker Murphy as a junior who's coming in and going to play small line. He's a really tough football player. So counting on him. We're counting on a sophomore to start at center for us and Gavin Grandy. And then from there, we've got we just have a lot of kids who we need to see develop. Mikey Gerard's a sophomore who's going to play for us. Logan Pangborn's going to play mostly defensive line, who's a big kid. Jalen Miles is another big guy we're going to count on for the defensive line. But we have options. We just got to figure out where they fit, whether it's offense and defense, what their skill set is. But a lot of guys we're excited about.
All right, let's go to linebackers and secondary. What are we at there?
Secondary, we're going to be we're going to be very talented. Like I said, we named all those guys that are receivers that are also going to be playing in the secondary. John Mayette started for us last year in the secondary some. He's a kid who could play strong safety, free safety, corner. We just got to figure out where he fits the best. And Kel DeLille's a returner in the secondary for us at corner. He's going to be a junior. Logan Zahn is returning for us from the secondary, and he's going to be a junior. Boston Boer, Isaac Boer, both those kids, Boston's a sophomore and Isaac's a senior. They're going to get reps there. And then, again, that sophomore I talked about at receiver, Jameson Pelt, he's kind of hoping for him to settle in that safety spot and kind of control the defense, make all the calls. For a sophomore, he's well ahead of the game mentally already, but does a great job.
All right.
Linebacker, linebacker, we might be a little thin, but we're talented. We're gonna work some different guys around in there, but right now we're looking for Joey Miller, who's a senior, who's returning. Played some linebacker for us last year as a junior, and then Jack Lagan and Gavin Grandy again. Those three guys will kind of anchor our middle, the two sophomores and the senior. You never know with sophomores and young kids how they're going to take to the varsity level, but we know that they have the talent and the ability to do it and do a good job at it.
Yeah. Okay. So now one more thing, special teams, where are we at in that?
When we special teams, we're talking kicker. We have a kid who's kicked for us I think this will be his third year. He's an all-state caliber soccer player. We've had really good success with soccer kids coming in and kicking for us. And this year we don't expect that to change. Last year, towards the end of the year, it's Mason Horwath, and towards the end of the year, he was probably putting 30 to 40% of them in the end zone on kickoffs for touchbacks. And that's mostly not because his leg wasn't strong enough. He was finally figuring out how to kick a football instead of a soccer ball. So we're hoping that really improves. He can hit them from anywhere on the field, really, once you get inside, that 35 field goal, 35-yard field goal range. I know he could probably hit them from deeper. We just got to get him kicking more footballs and whatnot. But right now, as far as punting goes, that job's still open.
Okay. All right. Well, now we've talked about all the players. Let's talk about the schedule. I'll just read this off real quick. Of course, you'll start off the season at Croswell, Lexington. So you'll take a trip all the way to the Thumb. So get to go see what Mike Holes and that team have done, of course. And then August 31st, home against Freeland. And then on September 8th, you're at Bridgeport. September 15th, home against Essexville Garber. September 22nd at Frankenmuth. September 29th at Bay City John Glenn. October 6th, home against Alma. October 13th at Birch Run. And October 20th, home against Midland Bullock Creek. Okay, so just talk about the schedule for a second there.
Well, that the first one's not going to be easy. I'll start with the non-league games. The first one's not going to be easy. Croslex, I know their quarterback and tailback, both very talented last year, and both were juniors, so that doesn't that helps them out a lot. And then end it with Bullock Creek, who was young last year and had a lot of skill kids coming back. So those two games will not be easy at all. But we at Swan Valley, we do have hard times finding non-league games, but we also like to find out early what we have. So playing Croslex in that first game will give us an idea of what we need to work on and what we need to fix, as opposed to playing somebody who may not be the same caliber of a team. So Croslex will be a great test to open the year. And then we start league play. And in my opinion, and I know this is the opinion of a lot of people, if you're looking at Division 5 teams / Division 4 teams, you're not going to find many leagues in the state that are going to be tougher than us with the likes of, Frankenmuth and Freeland, who have both made deep runs recently. Alma is traditionally been up there doing well in the playoffs, and then everybody else is up and coming and working hard to raise that level. So that doesn't make it easy. It also doesn't make it easy to start with Croslex and then go to your next door neighbor, who is probably your rival, in Freeland, and play them week 2. But that's the schedule they handed us, and I know our kids will be ready to play and ready to find out who we are.
All right. And really just, I know in these next 2 weeks of practice, what do you really want to see out of this team before you head into that game against Croslex?
Obviously I want to see where we are physically. I know we won't get to find that out until really Friday and then next week when we hit that scrimmage in Mount Pleasant. But I want to see where we are physically. I know I've got a core guys who understand football and know what they're supposed to do and can make plays and do the right things. We just have a lot of other guys who are very inexperienced that we need to get caught up to speed, and we need to get them learning as quickly as possible and get them, if we can eliminate as many of the mental mistakes before week 1, the better off we're going to be. So that's going to be lots of reps and just see what they can handle and how far we can get them in that time. Obviously, my coaching staff, I probably have one of the better coaching staffs in the state, guys who I've been with and have coached varsity football for, I got 3 guys who have been here since I started 20 years ago that were varsity football coaches that are still on the staff or have come back to the staff. So they know how to get the kids ready. All 3 of those guys have been part of, 5 semifinal teams. So it's not like, I trust that those guys are going to have our kids ready and have, each individual, whether it be line, running backs, receivers, linebackers, secondary, they're going to have them prepared. Just if we can get them there quick enough, that's what we're looking for.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Kevin, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us, and best of luck to you guys this year.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And thanks for having us.